All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we are doing Knock at the Cabin and Blackbird. We got me, Aiden, Andrew, and Brian. Mike will be joining us for when we do Knock at the Cabin. But every Friday episode we start with Last of Us. We're on Last of Us episode 4 now. If you don't want to hear spoilers for that, and you're just here for Blackbird or you're just here for Knock at the Cabin, we have the time slots in the description or on YouTube, wherever you're listening to this on. So go click on those if you want to jump around. But yeah, we're going to skip movie news this week since Super Bowl Sunday is coming up and there's a ton of trailers coming out. So next week we'll have a kind of a bigger movie news talking about a bunch of trailers. But this week we're kind of skipping that and going right into The Last of Us. So Last of Us season 4 spoilers ahead. Skip if you have not watched
Episode 4, not season 4.
Episode 4, sorry. Hopefully there's 4 seasons. Probably won't be. Episode 4. Also too, we're getting episode 5 on Friday, so we're gonna just a few days after from when. Yeah, actually, the day this episode comes out, episode 5 will be out. So
it's kind of funny because I almost feel like they could go up against the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, Euphoria had an episode right. Euphoria, it wouldn't go against it.
Super Bowl is the most watched.
Yes, so
but I think it'd be a cool fact to watch how many people come on after the Super Bowl wraps up. Like as soon as the Super Bowl ends, that time slot to see how many the increase of how many people would watch it would be badass. But I am hyped that they're releasing it Friday.
Well, so they had Euphoria last year go right after the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl starts at 6:30, and then
but the Super Bowl doesn't end until like 10:30.
Yeah, but
so it's like 4+ hours.
Yeah, because on Twitter you could see the real Super Bowl is Maddie versus I forgot the character's name. But anyway, yeah. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was all over Twitter.
So why can't I think of her name? What was
Cassie.
what's
Cassie?
Yeah, Maddie versus Cassie.
Sydney Sweeney's character.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, sorry, she just gets me flustered. Yeah, so I think maybe they learned from that they're like, let's release it Friday. But anyway, that's good news for us. We get a Last of Us episode even sooner. But what did you guys think of episode 4?
So I'm gonna can I just get it out of the way because I haven't played it and Andrew hasn't.
Yeah.
Is this super accurate to the game? Because to me, this felt like some might call it filler, but to me, this just felt like great setup because now we get to see how fucked up other humans are in the world. Like they got ambushed and then they defended themselves, and now the whole fucking town is trying to kill the two of them.
Yep. So it's not accurate.
No.
The characters that they made up, the girl that's the leader, she's a completely made up character. Same with the guy that was the guy like her right hand man, the military dude with the gun.
That's Tommy in the game, right?
Yeah, what's crazy is that his character, the guy with the long hair, older guy, he voices Joel's brother Tommy in the video game. But now he's like a live action actor for a new character that they made up.
But and the voice actor for Joel will be in the show later on.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the girl that voices Ellie, is supposed to be her mom, but I guess we already know that.
I have a theory of how next episode's gonna go right off rip.
It'd be fucking good.
You know who those two are, right? I'm curious.
I know that.
They would have no idea.
They're the two that the townsfolk are looking for.
Yeah, there we go.
Moron.
Okay, that's what I meant.
I can figure that out. But they're gonna definitely realize that those two are the ones that killed the boy, and they're gonna try and maybe barter the way back in by holding Joel and God, why can't I think of her name? What's the girl's name?
Ellie.
Ellie, thank you. I want to call her 11.
Hey, fucking recast David Harbour with Pedro Pascal in the new Stranger Things season.
I think they're gonna
wait.
Try and make.
Can I talk about the Saturday Night Live Super Mario or Mario Kart?
Dude, that shit was so funny.
That was good, dude. That's the best thing Saturday Night Live done in a minute. That shit actually had me laughing. He's like, "Who are you?" It's me, Mario.
Yeah, check that
so
out.
Good, dude.
Actually.
Oh my god, I just think that I don't know. Then it just pisses me off because it's obviously a bit, but why would they not cast an actual Italian or someone that has an accent as Mario instead of Chris?
What do you mean? We got Chris Pratt.
That shit is gonna be.
All right, well, rolling back into Last of Us, I think this is Brian, you kind of said filler, and I can see that.
I see why people say that. I don't think it's filler. I think this is
I agree. it is a good setup, and everyone should be able to see that, because you honestly, you nailed what I was going to say there. We're gonna be able to get to see what other humans are like that are out of that like quarantine zone, that are out of that like structure, how they're a little bit more rowdy. We've kind of got to see, I mean, we're 4 episodes in, and now I'm rambling here, but we've got to see like a couple different types of humans in this end of world scenario. You've got the ones that are in the government camps or whatever they are, the
Verda.
safe zone. Yeah.
Verda.
You've got the
Fedra,
like
sorry, Fedra.
I was gonna
Fedra.
say it's not.
No,
Ferda.
Ferda is for us this weekend.
Verda's for us.
You've got to see the quote unquote like terrorist organization, the Fireflies. I'm not even saying anything wrong. The Fireflies.
He's not. Yeah, the Fireflies are like.
I thought you were saying the
they're
Hunters
like the
from this episode.
rebellion. The Fireflies are
No.
like the mercenaries rebellion.
Yeah, but they're
type.
viewed as like terrorists.
Yeah.
And then you've got also like the Bill and Frank side. You've got 2 that were like all on their own. So we're kind of getting to see like that's something like I compared this show right off rip to The Walking Dead. That took like 5
Ooh.
seasons for you to see all these different perspectives.
Well, you got to see Atlanta, and then we ended up on a farm, and then we ended up at prison, and then we ended season 5.
Yeah. And Alexandria, right?
Yep, and then we made it
Yeah.
to Alexandria down the road.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you're saying, Andrew. Like, it is good seeing different perspectives on like people, because it is realistic. You know, you got the people that are in isolation, which would be Bill and Frank, and then we're introduced to the Hunters, which are they considered hunters?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like you said, they overthrew a Fedra zone,
QZ.
containment zone, QZ, and now they're like, it's kind of a free for all. But they do have one leader, and that's where I want to go in. People are like, "Oh, that girl is a great actress." I've never seen her in anything that I can think
She's
of.
in a
She's Two and a
couple
Half
of
Men.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, she is from 2.5 Men, isn't she? That's what
Yeah.
I knew her from.
But
I was
that's
Rose from
She's
2.5 Men.
annoying.
She's in every episode.
That's with Ashton Kutcher or what?
No,
Ashton
back
Kutcher.
back in the day with my boy Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Come on, motherfucker.
Charlie Sheen.
No, that's not her, bro.
That's
That is
her.
her.
All right, whatever.
literally
I didn't
her.
do any research on it. I think I know who you guys are talking about now.
How'd you not know that?
She's like the fucking the lady that hangs out.
Yeah,
like,
she's Rose.
every
She
time.
literally comes in. Yeah.
She
Whatever.
like calls Charlie Sheen a
And
dumbass.
while we're making you look stupid, you're wrong. This episode's completely like the game. This is the most similar episode to the game.
I've heard
I'm
that.
saying if you're going off of
It
characters,
is.
they introduced 2 new characters, and they're going to go
Okay.
on a huge plot line that
Okay,
isn't.
because
It's
first
not
of all, it's
identical.
giving you a background to the hunters. Because in the game, they're just like people trying to kill you, right?
Exactly.
don't
So they're
really
not
have a story.
identical.
I'm saying
They're giving
outside
you
of
a
that,
background
every
of
Joel
what
and
the
Ellie
story is.
scene is literally identical to what happens.
That's
in the game.
identical, of course.
Okay, so I'm saying compared to other episodes, this is by far the most similar to an episode or to the game. Last episode was nothing similar to it, which was fine. But this episode was super similar to it, where like they had to siphon gas, they had to they did the coffee thing, they did the magazine in the back of the truck.
The magazine thing. I saw
All
that
the
side by
scenes,
side.
yeah,
That was funny
all
as
the
fuck.
scenes, and then all their speaking scenes. And then too, like, it's definitely not filler. The connection between Ellie and Joel throughout this episode, you really see it shine at the end. Like,
That's the main
Dude,
part.
I
of it.
mean,
dude, when she
awesome.
when she says the pun and they're just sitting there cracking up was just so fucking pure to see.
I liked when she right before that, when you get the tone of the episode, she's like, Joel, I have something serious I need to ask. And you're like actually prepped up. You're like, oh shit, what's she gonna say? And then hits it with a joke, and you're like,
Because
okay.
at the beginning of the episode, he's like obviously a father figure, and it's slowly they're breaking the ice, and then she's like worried, like when they're going to sleep in the woods, she's like, "Is anyone gonna get us?" And he's like, "No, no one will get us," even though someone could 100% get.
Then
you.
he stays up all night on
yeah,
guard.
because he just needs he needs to tell her what she wants to hear.
yeah.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah,
tells
and
her
then-
no, then she's gonna freak out.
Yeah, and then like her saying like at the end, I noticed you're like kind of going deaf in your right ear or have trouble hearing on your right side. And then when he wakes up, he's facing her and his right side's covered, or left side, I think it's his left ear. And yeah, so I like that, you know, his ear was covered, so they were able to come in and he wouldn't hear it. So it like made sense to what she had just said. I don't know. I really like, obviously we'll see more going forward with their connection and their relationship, but like this episode was one of the first ones where it's like, he's starting to finally crack, and she's breaking
Yeah.
through, and they did tease and set up some stuff like, what's under the city with the groundbreaking there. Like, what was all that? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
what is
wonder.
that, bro? I gotta know.
But dude,
trailer?
like,
Is it the flood from Halo? Be honest.
dude, like even the scene where like, the guy's pretending to be injured and he goes, "Put your seatbelt on." Like, obviously, Aiden, like that's an iconic part from the game.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if you're going
come
off
on,
of
how do you
pieces
not
from,
say?
no, I'm saying story wise, as in introducing that girl and the hunters and all that.
Sure.
That storyline is not identical. Everything else is pure, straight from the game.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But I like that they did that though, because you're giving background to the hunters.
Yeah, this isn't a game. Like, if you're in a game,
No, and
you're
they
gonna-
have
you
to,
know
and
that
that's
you're
what's
going to
good.
figure out later. But if we're watching a TV show, especially
Yeah.
for people like me and Andrew who haven't played it or watched anything on it, then it's nice to get this background. And then it's nice to hear you guys be like, oh, yeah, the hunters are just fucking in the game. You find out more about them as you go. Like,
Yeah.
it's nice now that we're kind of on the same page. Obviously, we're not. We're behind a couple chapters, but we're there.
No, and I mean that's where it's saying like after like this episode, like everything gets dark. Like
Yeah.
who is it? Salmon? Is it Eddie? Or Salmon who?
Henry.
Oh,
Salmon
chill out.
Henry.
Chill out. I don't
No,
want
like no, we see.
Well,
those
no,
at the
those
end.
those are the
We see them
characters.
at the
that-
end.
Those are the
And
characters.
it's
that
just
play.
like
Oh, that was them.
Just
That's what they kept mentioning. Yeah, Henry.
But there's like
Oh.
there's nothing like there's nothing happy like from this point
No.
on is what I
Well,
can say.
and you know what was like kind of darker, but I found kind of fucking funny. Ellie pulls the gun and shoots the Brian character, which is super unfortunate. R.I.P. Brian guy.
I was shot him in the head.
But she fucking
she should've-
paralyzes him, bro.
Yeah, that shit was dark.
Because I can't feel my legs. I thought that was like her innocence is now fucked. Like, it would have been one thing if she killed him, but now she paralyzed the dude. She knows that.
But Brian,
Joel-
it's not our first time.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
she's-
It's not.
She's a regular to this kind of thing.
But also, then it was funny because then like it's like, damn kid, you could have shot a little higher. Maybe hit
Yeah.
an artery instead. You hit him right in the spine on some Joker shit.
Well, so in the game, she gets him right in the head. But I like that. I like that he was begging for his like mom, and Joel stabs him instead to save the bullet.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
And to
Mhm.
make less noise.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
quieter.
He didn't
yeah,
want to go deaf
so-
any more than he already is. He says
Mhm.
that.
I
Than he
mean,
already is.
You got to
yeah.
think like there's a shit ton of those hunters. So like,
Yeah.
I hope that they show them a little bit more on the run. I feel like they kind of like, they just showed them all piling into vehicles and just like spreading out the city. Like I feel like they weren't even in any harm. They kind of got away easy.
Aiden,
then
when
in
she
the
was
game-
helping him with the desk to get in the room, and then like he gave her that boost to go up in that
Yeah,
window.
it's so good.
Shit's sweet.
Even when she crawls
do
through
that
the
shit.
wall and opens shit up.
Yep. That shit's sweet.
But I like
Uh,
it because she like you said, when she knows he's like, get back there, like get back behind the wall.
Yeah.
She's like crying. She's trying so hard not to cry, but then she's like, she comes to realization like, oh, I can't be a little girl. Like I gotta be mature,
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really, it was a shorter episode, and they did set stuff up, but I really like this one a lot. It's crazy how good these are though, isn't it?
Like I said, the next episode is gonna be fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude, when all those
here on
trucks
out.
go hunting for them, you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
That's why you're like, oh shit, they're gonna get captured or something,
Yeah. Do
But
you
then-
wish there was more action in it?
Yeah, but then again, I mean, there's so much action in the game
Yeah.
that they compensated with story.
Yeah,
like them
so
going out in the woods and camping in a coffee scene, like you don't see any
Yeah.
of that in the game.
yeah. But like in the in the show when the truck smashes through the laundromat, there's 3 guys, right?
Yeah.
But in the game it's like
Well,
a
because
dozen?
after the 3, there's multiple that come in
Yeah,
after. But I
yeah,
do like
so-
how it literally set up where they're like curious and then they're going. I don't know if you like watching the Easter eggs on the game, but like when
Mhm.
you meet the hunters, like if you kill one of them and
Yeah.
then like hide again, they'll read like, oh, they shot Mateo. Or like if you kill someone, oh, they shot Sarah. Oh,
Yeah.
they shot Ashley. And they're like, that's why the hunters are like a family,
Family,
like yeah,
yeah.
they have to do everything to save themselves. Like that kid, like when he goes in, like you kill my friends, it's personal. But
Yeah.
then he goes
See,
in like,
and
then
that's what I
he's
fucking
dead,
hate
it's
because
like-
you're in the apocalypse, you're shooting at these people, and like you caught them off guard, and then you're shooting at these people, and these people defend themselves, and they have the audacity to get upset, and it's like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you set yourself up for this.
They
You could have let
tried
this
to
car
ambush him.
drive through and fucking been on their merry little way, and it would have been just
Yeah, they
fine.
literally try to ambush him, doing the fake trap, and then they're on the fire escape, fucking throwing cinder blocks down the car. Like they knew that they were in there, and they're
Yep.
not dead. They just crashed into the thing. If they're
Yep.
not in the car, they're most likely behind the desk
Yep.
with a gun. So I think you should know. And I kind of
Oh.
like how they showed the guy like walking in curiously. He's like he knew he was gonna die. Like he's a bot.
No, dude, when he
NPC.
and I'm wondering if you notice this, when they leave the truck, he doesn't take a backpack.
No.
You notice that? And Ellie had hers, and I'm like, Joel, where are you going with that?
You know, I did wonder why he
No,
didn't grab
because she
any
had
of
it
the shit.
on. No, he didn't grab anything. That's
He
the
didn't
one
grab
thing that's
anything.
kind of weird.
Yeah, he didn't have a
She
backpack.
had hers on her lap.
And he left the rifle, which was out of ammo, and it's heavy. I get it. He doesn't want to carry it. But I'm like, you're going to leave the backpack behind?
No, I mean, and everyone was saying like, oh, like even like what was it, the first episode when he's got the AR? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, people are so upset, like fucking, oh, like you don't get an
Yeah, that
AR
was
until like the last mission in the game.
Yeah.
You were like, fuck, it's not realistic. He got an
Oh,
AR too early.
he drops it. He buries it and
Yeah,
calls it a day. So
Yeah. So,
But there's a lot of minor things. I'm really excited for here on out. I mean, I don't know how many did they confirm how many
There's
episodes are
9.
gonna be? 9.
9. Yeah.
I can already like tell. I mean, I'm not obviously not gonna spoil it, but like where that cliffhanger is gonna be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can too, but I think it's
Yeah.
just gonna be a bad cliffhanger.
Yeah, there'll be a point where in March we're getting Mandalorian and this, like
Yeah,
within the
that's
span
big.
of a couple days
That's
each
fucking
time.
hype.
So yeah, I mean he's in
Yeah,
his
that's
bag.
Funny, which is funny too, watching Pedro do this shit, and it's just like, bro,
Well, dude, you gotta think
give him the Mando armor, and this boy is
He's
fucking
in-
you up.
he's in every fucking good, like insanely successful show he's been a part of. Game
Yeah.
of Thrones, Mandalorian, Last of Us, and Narcos.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's insane.
Mhm.
I mean,
That's
why wouldn't you have him star in your show?
That's a good fucking run, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
and it's only gonna get
Yeah.
better. Like, what else is he? He's got
They
so
need to
much shit.
cast that boy for the Peaky Blinder movie, just so that way you can say that he did it.
Yeah. They should do that Mario show.
I saw someone say that they were comparing him to
They
like
should have him do
early
Red Dead
days,
Redemption.
like Harrison Ford.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Because Harrison Ford
Yeah.
never missed.
yeah, no, Harrison Ford was in his bag, and he was always doing like weird shit. Like, because if you go back and look at fucking Blade Runner, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, Harrison Ford was
So
just a
good.
sci-fi nerd, bro, and like to the point
No,
where
it's not even that he's a sci-fi nerd. He doesn't give a shit about anything. He just cares about, oh, sure, that's a good script, or whoever the director is.
well, yeah, but again, that would feed into him being a sci-fi nerd because he's just like, this shit's cool. Like, yeah,
But he didn't
put
give
me
a
in it.
shit about Han Solo. He's like,
Yeah,
what's
well,
a Force
no,
Ghost?
but Han Solo, it's because he thought it was cool. He didn't think it would make the
And the
run.
fans suck.
Yeah, and the fans when
That's
they like,
true.
because again, you can't ask Harrison Ford about a fucking Ghost Force. Like, what the fuck?
If I ever met Harrison Ford, that would be the last thing I would ask him. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what do you feel about coming back as a Force Ghost? What the
Yeah.
fuck
I'd be
is
like,
that?
come on, you and Carrie Fisher off screen. Come on,
Yeah.
big dog. I know you were in that.
It's crazy, but I'm excited, man. I mean, like I said, I mean, there hasn't been one bad episode. Like you said, this one's a short one. The only thing I can take that negatively from this episode is, like I said, when I mentioned that girl from 2.5 Men, I feel like she's a powerful figure, like in this world or whatever, and she's gonna
I
play
looked
more.
her up.
obviously,
She's
the
in
series.
like 50
TV
different
shows.
things,
Yeah, but she's like, all right,
but
guys,
nothing huge.
we gotta find them. We have to kill them. Like,
She was in
like,
Don't
it's
Look
not
Up.
terrifying. Like, she has
That
no
Netflix
authority, in my
movie.
opinion.
Don't look
Oh,
up.
was she?
Yeah,
Which one?
Don't Look Up.
Yeah,
Netflix
she was in
movie.
that. But you know what I mean? I thought that it was like, it felt odd. It felt like she was just reading her lines instead of like.
We'll
Yeah.
see where her character goes because like they definitely set it up where I guess you might be able to see it from her end because like you said with the hunters, they're like family and like she lost her brother and blames it on Henry.
Yeah.
So maybe from her perspective, we'll see more next episode. Maybe she was wronged in a certain way where like I guess you can kind of see her going about it. I mean, like they're risking not facing that infection that's going on in that building. You know, she wants Henry. She wants vengeance instead of like
Yeah,
facing
she's
what's
pushing under
mainly
the
important.
rug.
Yeah, I mean they're in a quarantine zone. Like
Yeah,
you know,
just lock the door and
yeah, lock the door, lock the
Okay.
building up. It'll be
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, just lock the door. What's gonna happen? You know,
I'm excited to see like what they do with that next episode because
I mean, you,
oh,
yeah,
So-
you know, I am.
that'll be a
So,
season finale thing.
no, it's
Really quick,
Oh, it'll pop up
I
next
know
season.
we
Popping
went
up next
over
episode.
it the first episode, I think.
Mhm.
So what are the different kinds of fucking? Because they're not. Are they considered zombies? What the fuck are they considered?
Well,
Infected.
they're
Infected,
considered
so-
infected, but everyone calls them zombies. Even the creators call them
Yeah.
zombies.
Well, I mean,
Everyone on Twitter is like,
well,
you
fucking
haven't played Last of Us. It's not called a zombie.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like,
no, the
"Shut
thing is,
fuck
you
up."
can't call shit zombies because of fucking George Romero. Like that motherfucker like coined the term zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not gonna say anything that we haven't seen yet. So there's runners, stalkers, and then clickers.
Okay.
I think runners are like in the first few weeks, and then stalkers is the first few months, and then clickers is after 2 years. But like some of them don't make it to certain stages.
I was gonna
right?
say
They just
some of
kind
them
of
like
die
kind of
off.
die off. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we saw a stalker in episode 3 when Ellie's like kind of cutting them open. They have like one eye.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they can
that's
kind
what
of
that
trick
was.
you
That
and lure
was-
you over to a certain area and then kill you. Where runners will just sprint right at you. They're kind of a little bit more brainless. And then
Mhm.
clickers, yeah, they're like a bat. They can, hear you from a mile away. They're
Mm-hmm.
crazy, very scary. And those clickers, you have to like double tap them in the head to kill them. So
Nice.
they take a little bit more bullets. So
Nice.
there
But
is
yeah,
other
So
things,
the
but
longer
we'll
you're
get to those.
infected, the more armor the fungus gives you.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
I think that's a good place to end off for this episode. Again, we'll be back next Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday talking about Last of Us. Thank you everyone for listening. Go download, go check us out on YouTube. We will be back on February the 14th, Valentine's Day, for a special Valentine's Day episode with a special guest. So you're gonna have to listen to that. It's The Notebook.
Ooh.
So first romantic movie, romance.
My
yeah.
vote's still for
Should be
Bridesmaids.
very
Bridesmaids, yep.
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So check us out with that. And yeah, thanks guys.
Yep. Like I said, I mean, we get a plug that we're on all platforms.
Mhm.
The numbies are
Keep the
just
lights on.
they're real good right now. So
They are actually moving. I
Yep.
texted Josh.
we
out
have
of the blue.
Discord, we get a website. You can look at all our reviews, see if you agree or disagree with us.
Mhm.
Send a comment on YouTube on how handsome we look on each episode. Tell hey Josh, I like what you did with your hair.
Thank
Hey hey Brian, nice beanie.
Yeah.
Or hey Andrew, nice shirt, Mike.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, give us some feedback. Feel free to drop a like.
Mhm.
Tell your grandma about us. Tell your sister about us.
Yep.
But yeah,
Your
other
aunt.
than that, we're here twice a week, so we're not going
Yep.
anywhere.
Yep.
Nope.
So
All right, boys.
see you
Yeah.
next week.
See,
See ya.
boys.
Peace out.